My dear brothers and sisters, it's always with great pleasure to share knowledge of wisdom with each one of us. What do I have to share with us today? Today, I will be examining the kind of marriage instituted by the Lord. Which kind of marriage did the Lord started with mankind during creation? When you look at the world today, the way humans go about doing things according to emotions, according to feelings, without any morals, you ask yourself, do we really understand the things of this world? Some might say yes, some might say no, some might say some are civilized society, some might say some of the society are uncivilized. But I'm going to take us back to the Bible for those who believe. Whether you believe or you don't believe. But when you understand the biblical principle, you are going to understand that there is someone who owns this world. There is someone who tells things to follow a certain pattern in life. When you look at the creation, God took 6 days to put the things in places. Before he went forward to create the animals, to create all the different types of creations that we see in the world today, he prepared first and foremost the environment. That's to tell you that God is not a God of confusion. Before he brings you somewhere, he knows exactly that he has prepared that place for you. So in creation, in Genesis 1, the Lord created everything. And then when we move into Genesis 2, the Lord saw that all the things he created, he needed someone to be an administrator of all those things. So if we read Genesis 2 verse 7, you're going to see that the Lord formed man from the dust. All the creation to Adam to give them names. So man automatically had that authority over all the different creation on earth. But there was none that was actually in the same status like man. So God saw that the man needed a companion in order to accomplish the task, the assignment he has given to him. So the first man was called Adam, meaning the father of all creation. So God said it's not good for him to be alone. So he cursed him to sleep, and he removed one of his ribs to form the woman, meaning creating a woman out of the image of the man. But whereas the man was created in the image of God. But if you read back in Genesis 1, verse 26 and 7, God created man and woman in his image. But if you come to Genesis 2, you realize that man was formed from the ground, from the dust, breathed the air of life into him, man became a living being. So God gave him an assignment to take care of this world. So that was when God saw that he cannot be alone. God decided now to form a bone of his own bone, a flesh of his bone, flesh of his own flesh. So the rib that was removed from man was used to build a woman. That's why when you look at the structure of a man and a woman, you see two different structures. The woman is built. When you see the shape of a woman, it's designed to look attractive, to look good for the man. So there's a difference of building something, designing and putting it in place, and forming something. Which simply means the man is the authority. Being an authority doesn't mean that you are above your wife. It simply means the man has to protect the wife. And then the wife has to support the man in the assignment that has been given to him. You see, but we live in a world whereby when a woman becomes rich, he no longer respects the husband. He no longer look at the husband as anything because she can contribute more to the table than the husband. But if we go back to the biblical principle, we want to get blessing. We have to follow that rule. Give respect to your husband. It is reciprocal. Then you receive it back. And then when you go back to the creation again, you understand that the woman came into the life of a man so that the man can be complete. Without the woman, the man cannot be complete. And then without the man having an assignment, there's no need for you to get married. Because God said it is not good for a man to be alone to carry out the assignment he has given to him. You see, when you are a lazy man, you have nothing doing. There's no need to go and get married because you see that maybe that woman is rich or the woman is industrious. My brother, you must have a vision, you must have a dream before you step in to go and take somebody's daughter to be your wife. Because remember, it is that missing rib that was taken from you that is coming back to you. And when it comes back to you, you are complete. It means that you cannot never hurt your wife. Because when you hurt your wife, you are hurting yourself. And remember, whatever you give to a woman, the woman will not give you back in that same form that you give it to her. She's going to transform it, make it look good, multiply it before she gives it back to you. An example, when the man gives the woman his sperms, the woman gives in return a child. If you give the woman love, the woman will give you the whole world. If you give the woman money, the woman is going to make you look more handsome. So know that when you are loving your wife, when you are taking good care of your wife, you are not doing any favor to anybody. The Bible teaches us to understand that when you take care of the woman, you are making her beautiful, attractive for yourself, not for somebody else. Unfortunately, most marriages today are based on selfish interests, motives. And that's why the center no longer holds. But note, God instituted marriage that a man is going to leave his parents. That means the mother and the father to hold fast to his wife. Meaning, the priority of your wife should be in the first position before your parents, before your mother or your father. But we live in a society where your parents comes and influence your matrimonial home, things no longer work well. My brother and sisters, if you want to have peace of mind in your home, follow the biblical principle. God knew very well that you were going to leave your parents, your mother and your father, to stay with your wife, who is the bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh. If we understand this little principle, applies it day in, day out, it means that our home is going to be a paradise. Because remember, when God created man, he created his present called Eden and puts man inside to then be in charge of everything that God created. But once man sinned, what happened? We were separated from the presence of God. That's why if you follow all the archaeological researches, none of them can ever find Eden, because Eden was the presence of God. My brothers and sisters, if you have your wife that you understand very well, that's the flesh of your flesh, the bone of your bone. You have your husband that you understand very well. You are created in his image. Both of you have been together for too long. You understand him in and out. He also understands you in and out. What is the reason of leaving your husband or leaving your wife to go chasing something that you do not understand? What first and foremost put you people together? It's always good to go back where the relationship started. Was it the communication that was in the heart when both of you met? Or it was just because you wanted to satisfy the feelings of the flesh? Because sometimes when you see a beautiful woman moving around, a man would like to satisfy the flesh. Or a woman that sees a rich man, you want to also seduce to get something. That's not what we are talking about. When the Lord created man and woman, we didn't have this kind of attractions, these things that are polluting us today. Man was not knowledgeable to this level. Maybe by that time, man had not yet tested the tree of knowledge, good and bad. But my brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you today, let each and every one of us return back to the original marriage laid down and ordained, divined by the Lord. And the only acceptable laid down marriage that is ordained is heterosexual monogamy, not polygamy, not lesbianism, not homosexualism. No. This is man-made thinking to satisfy the flesh, to let us understand because we have more knowledge. That is not biblical, and that is not ethical, that is not moral. Maybe some of the sickness we are having today is because we have turned our back to practice the things that are not acceptable ethically. Because the Lord, when he brought man and woman together, he said, what? Go into the world and multiply. And you can only multiply if you are male and female, not male and male or female and female. God was capable to also create a man to a man if a man was suitable to a man, or to create two female if a female was suitable to a female. No, the Lord knew very well that the man is suitable to a female and a female is suitable to a man. Why? Because they will be productive, they will increase. Think twice. Ask yourself. You see, God didn't want any marriage to end in divorce. But as man was questing for more knowledge, exploring the world, become more intelligent, they start looking for ways to escape from their responsibilities. But whereas during marriage vow, we say for better or for worse, only that do we part. But after 2 or 3 months, we want to separate. When we're making the vow, were there anybody forcing us? Or we did it sincerely from our heart? And if it came from our heart, what were we thinking at that time that we were making that vow? These are the things that will always make you to support your husband in time of trials, to support your wife in difficult moments, so that you should always understand that the marriage equation, 1 + 1 is equal to 1. Once you understand that principle, it's not rocket science. These are practical things that we live and we witness every day. Marriage needs both party commitment, 50-50% investment. If you want to see a wife glitter, looks happy, bring joy, makes the home happy, makes it a conducive environment for everybody, for visitors, for your mothers-in-law, for your fathers-in-law, make your wife happy. Wives, make your husband happy so that the house will be a level playing field for everybody. A nice environment for the kids to grow and be better people tomorrow. Don't forget that when we fight as couples, when we fight as marriage people, the children suffer the most. Statistically, check in the world and see in each family where the parents are not in harmony or they have been fighting, they have turned their house into a battleground. You see that the character of the children, even when they go to marriage, will come back and start haunting them. Which kind of advice will you give to your kids if you show them that the best way is to fight at home? You don't teach them how to sit down and talk amicably with one another. My brothers and sisters, marriage is not something that you go to try and see if it's going to work. All unmarried people, I will ask you to think twice. Marry somebody that you communicate through the heart and not on the external appearance or not the status of who the person is. And men, don't be scared if your wife is intelligent. Don't be challenged if your wife is occupying a high post. God gave each and every one of us as the head of the family an assignment. And this assignment that was given to you cannot be paid for. All the paid jobs that we are doing is not what you were created to do. Because what you were created to do cannot be paid for. Take it or you leave it. That's a reality. What you have as a gift, a talent that you were born to do, nobody can pay for it. But the things they are paying you for, they can lay you off at any time. They can employ you at any time. But what God created you to do on earth, nobody can employ you. Nobody can actually quit you from the job because this is what you were born to do. Whether paid or unpaid, you have that passion. You have that happiness in doing it. And you can only attain that level if you are complete with your wife and you people speak the same language. Meaning, once you are married to your wife, once she speaks in your absence, you have to support her. But you people can settle it after you are in your bedroom, the two of you. You don't settle your score in the public. In the presence of your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, if one speaks, the other one will support. That's how it works with couples. If you want to keep your marriage, if you understand that truly the rest of your life on earth, only the both of you are going to grow old together, you have to be there to support one another. Think twice. Let us reduce the number of divorce each year. Let us reduce the number of pain we let children go through. Let us reduce the number of women who died each year because of divorce or because of separation. My brothers and sisters, you see, when the parents no longer accept to work together, no matter the circumstances, they will be fighting now who has the right over the children. And once the decision favors one and don't favor the other one, there's that tendency that the enemy will step in if the one is not led by the Lord to keep calm. You see that either the wife will be killed, the children might be killed, the man might end up taking his life. Is that what God instituted? Because if you go back to Genesis 1, in creation, all what the Lord created were good. But are the things we are doing now good? I will leave you here for today. Reflect, think, and reconsider. If you are considering to divorce your husband, or if your language have been very filthy, start apologizing to reconstruct, to rebuild your marriage. Let your language change at home because the children are growing with the language we speak at home. So, because they will identify the life that we are living at home through our kids. Because children are like an empty bottle. And whatever you fill the bottle with, if it is with clean water, you're going to drink clean water tomorrow. And that's why the Bible says that word. Train a child in a way that when the child grows up, the child will not depart from it. It will come back. But when you train a child in a way that the child is growing in agony, give me one reason why that child will turn back. Let's put a no to the enemy and seal our door with the blood of the Lamb. Let family remain united despite the challenges you are going through. It's only together that we can win the battle. Divided, we can never win any battle. May God bless you. See you again next time. Bye-bye.